This message found you because your mind has been running the same loop. It's like you're stuck on a broken record and your awareness keeps playing the same song, creating the same reality over and over. And right now, something deep inside you is starting to recognize this. You've felt it, haven't you? That weird feeling that your life is on a loop, the same arguments, the same frustrations, the same disappointments. The fact that you're here, watching this, isn't a fluke. It's a sign. Your energy has been screaming for a way out of this cycle, and the universe guided you to this very video. Think about it. Millions of people are scrolling through content, but only a certain type of person would stop and feel this magnetic pull. You were chosen by something bigger because you have a unique ability, the observer gene. This isn't some spiritual fluff. This is about how reality works. Your consciousness doesn't just see the world, it helps create it. Scientists call this the observer effect. But what they don't tell you is that when your mind gets caught in old patterns, you don't just see the same reality, you actually keep making it. Look at your life. How many times have you had the same conversation with the same kinds of people? How many times have you seen the same issues pop up in your relationships, your career, in your daily life? This isn't bad luck. It's your mind, stuck in a loop, unconsciously picking the same possibilities from all the endless options out there. And that's why time feels so weird lately. Minutes drag on, but entire weeks disappear without anything truly new happening. This strange feeling is a big clue that your mind is just cycling through the same old ideas, making you feel like you're moving forward when you're actually just staying in place. Your friends and family might not get this. They're comfortable with a predictable world. But you've always sensed that reality is more flexible than people think. You've had moments, maybe just for a second, where you felt like you could almost touch the way the world works, where perfect coincidences happened just for you. What you're feeling right now is a memory. Your soul has been preparing for this moment. Every book that felt like it was meant for you, every spiritual practice that made sense, every moment of deep knowing, they were all breadcrumbs leading you to this one truth about being stuck on repeat. But here's the one thing that will either set you free or keep you trapped forever. Most people who realize they're in a loop try to think their way out. They think if they just understand how it works, they can fix it. But that's like trying to escape a maze by just staring at a map instead of walking a new path. The loop isn't held together by your thoughts. It's held together by where you put your attention. Every morning, your mind automatically looks for familiar patterns to latch onto. It's like your own personal GPS that keeps choosing the same destination because it's what feels safe and known. Your awareness has become hooked on the same emotional landscapes and the same life stories. And the more you notice these patterns, the more real they become. The more real they become, the more your mind expects to find them again tomorrow. Right now, as you hear these words, something huge is happening. Just by becoming aware of this loop, you're starting to weaken its hold. That's why this message found you. Your deepest self brought you here because you've reached the point where breaking free is not only possible, it's going to happen. You know that feeling when you're in a conversation and you suddenly realize you've had this exact same talk before? The same words, the same tone, the same ending? Most people would call it déjà vu, but you know it's something more. You're experiencing temporal echoes, brief moments where you see the repetitive nature of your loop. This isn't your imagination. This isn't a trick of the mind. You're on a level that most people can't reach, which is why you notice these glitches in the matrix that others miss. Your mind has become sensitive to the patterns that shape reality itself. You've probably also noticed how time feels strange. Sometimes an hour can feel like a lifetime, full of new thoughts and ideas. Other times, entire weeks vanish without a trace. This happens because your mind is trying to exist in multiple realities at once, searching for the one that feels most real to you. And those deep feelings of knowing that come out of nowhere, They're not random insights. They are memories from other versions of yourself who have already broken free. Your mind is so advanced that it's downloading wisdom from your own future. The hardest part is how lonely this can feel. You try to share these things, and your friends and family look at you like you're speaking a different language. They're still living in a world where everything is solid and unchangeable. But you've seen behind the curtain. You've seen that reality is a vast ocean of possibilities. And most people are just trying not to drown because they don't know they can swim. In the comments below, write, "I choose change," to own this moment and declare your new path. That's why certain books call to you from a shelf, or why certain videos show up in your feed at just the right time. You're not attracting these things with positive thinking. Your energy is connected to a network of others who are also waking up and working to break their own loops at the same time. Your dreams have probably become more vivid and meaningful lately. You're getting messages while you sleep that your waking mind can't quite understand. These aren't just random brain signals. They're communications from your higher self, showing you the difference between your current life and the infinite possibilities waiting for you. When you master this, even your relationship with technology changes. Your phone seems to know what you're thinking. Your music app plays the exact song you needed to hear. Your social media shows you exactly what you're thinking about. This isn't a coincidence. It's proof that your consciousness is becoming so powerful that it's influencing the world around you. Everything you've been through, every disappointment, every pattern that felt like it was trapping you, none of it was a waste. It was all preparing you for this exact moment. Your consciousness had to experience the loop from every angle before it could develop the awareness needed to go beyond it. Think of a butterfly in its cocoon. From the outside, it looks like it's suffering, like it's trapped. But every moment of that struggle is actually completely changing its DNA. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. Its entire being changes to unlock abilities it always had inside. Your difficult relationships weren't punishments. They were mirrors showing you exactly which patterns were keeping you stuck. Every person who pushed your buttons was actually helping you find the specific places where your consciousness was getting tangled up. The pressure you've been feeling lately, that sense of urgency like you're running out of time, that's not anxiety. That's your energy field getting ready to change. When a mind is about to jump to a higher level, it creates a phase transition. It's the same way water becomes steam when it reaches the right temperature. Your mind is approaching the exact point where the loop loses its hold on your reality. Even your moments of doubt have been essential. Every time you wondered if these feelings were real, you were making your ability to sense the truth stronger. You had to become incredibly sharp before you could safely navigate this change. That's why the waiting felt so hard. You knew something was about to shift, but you couldn't force it to happen faster. Breaking the loop isn't about trying harder. It's about reaching a specific level of inner calm where your attention naturally starts picking different possibilities from all the options out there. Your soul chose to be here right now because this whole observer loop thing is being discovered during your lifetime. You volunteered to be part of the first wave of people to break free from these patterns and create a new reality for everyone. Every struggle was training for this cosmic job. Something is building inside you right now as you listen to this. Can you feel it? That subtle hum in your energy field, like a tuning fork, has just been struck. Your consciousness is starting to vibrate at a frequency that doesn't match your current reality. This mismatch is creating reality turbulence. This turbulence is a good thing. It means your loop is starting to fall apart. The familiar patterns that have kept you stuck are losing their power over your attention. You're entering the breakthrough phase, the most delicate and powerful part of this journey. But here's where most people make a huge mistake.
They feel this energy and immediately try to use it to change their life. They want their relationships to get better, their money to flow, their life to transform. But the loop doesn't break by changing what you see. It breaks by changing how you see. Right now, your consciousness is getting a software update for how to interact with reality. These aren't just ideas you need to learn. They are energetic upgrades happening in your cells. Your DNA is literally changing to support a new way of living. That's why you might be feeling strange physical sensations, changes in your sleep, or a new desire for different foods or activities. If you're ready to create a different life, type "My new reality starts now" in the comments to begin the shift.
The most important thing you can do right now is to just feel this energy without trying to control it. Let it move through you like a river, carving new paths in your mind. Your job isn't to direct this process. Your job is to simply get out of its way. This is the moment where everything changes. But it's also the moment where many people get scared and try to go back to what's familiar, even if it hurts. Don't let this be you. What's happening right now is a new chapter in human history. You're watching your own evolution in real time. Feel this energy as we dive deeper into exactly how this loop works. Because once you understand the specific ways your attention has been trapped, you'll never accidentally fall back into the old patterns again. I need to share something personal with you because I know you'll get it in a way most people couldn't. 3 years ago, I was stuck in the most clever loop I'd ever experienced. I thought I was on a high level, aware of how reality worked, but I was actually using my knowledge to create an even more subtle prison for myself. Every morning I would wake up and immediately look for proof that my life was changing. But this constant looking for change was actually freezing my reality in place. The more desperately I looked for a new reality, the more my attention kept me stuck in the old one. I remember the exact moment I realized what was happening. I was frustrated that the same issues kept showing up despite years of inner work. Suddenly, it hit me like a lightning bolt. I wasn't just seeing my reality. I was making it with the way I was choosing to look at it. My mind had become like a broken record player, and no amount of spiritual effort could make it play a different song. The breakthrough came when I stopped trying to see my way out, and instead started watching the me who was doing the looking. I started watching how my attention moved, where it got stuck, what patterns it was drawn to. This act of watching the watcher completely changed my relationship with my own mind. For the first time in my life, I understood why some people seem to effortlessly flow from one good experience to another, while others are stuck despite all their hard work. It's not about who you are or what you've done. It's about the basic mechanics of how your mind connects with reality. This discovery changed everything. My relationships shifted overnight because I was no longer unconsciously picking the same frustrating patterns. My creative projects started flowing because my attention stopped getting stuck on old problems. Even my health got better because my body was finally getting new information instead of the same stress signals. But the most important change was realizing I'm not alone in this. There's a whole network of people who have been working on breaking their loops at the same time. We've been finding each other, sharing what we've learned, and creating a collective energy that makes this transformation possible for more and more people. If this feels true to you, if you feel that feeling in your gut, then you're part of this network too. You've been preparing for this your whole life, even if you didn't know it. Subscribe to this frequency, not just this channel, but to the entire wave of consciousness that's happening on our planet right now.
What most experts don't tell you is the difference between knowing about this and actually living it. You can read every book and understand every theory and still be completely trapped because knowing something and living it are two completely different things. Here's the truth. Your thoughts don't create your reality. Your reality is created by the specific quality of the connection between your mind and the world around you. And this connection can't be faked. It just happens naturally when your mind becomes free and flexible instead of fixed and stuck. Most people's minds work like a spotlight, focused, intense, always looking for something specific. But a free mind works like sunlight. It's everywhere at once, lighting things up without any effort. When your mind shifts from spotlight to sunlight, you stop creating the same old reality again and again. The loop traps you because it makes your mind predictable. When you wake up tomorrow morning and your attention automatically looks for familiar patterns, checking your phone for the same kind of messages, thinking about the same problems, expecting the same kind of day, you're basically ordering the same thing from the universe's menu. But here's the mind-blowing part. The universe is actually excited to give you new things. Infinite possibilities are constantly trying to break through, but they can't get past your loop because your attention is too busy making old patterns stronger. If you feel this message is for you, simply write, "I am ready," in the comments to claim it. You're not stuck because the universe doesn't want to help you. You're stuck because your mind has become too set in its ways. The most advanced beings in the cosmos don't try to control reality. They dance with it. They stay in a state of confident uncertainty, a state where their mind is fully present but not attached to a specific outcome. This allows them to respond to reality instead of just reacting to it. This is why some people seem to live charmed lives while others struggle constantly. It's not about luck. It's about the fundamental connection between their mind and the creative force of existence itself. When you master this, you don't just change your own life. You become a force of change for everyone around you. The shift is happening right now, and there are clear signs that your loop is starting to break. First, you'll notice that amazing coincidences are happening more often. The universe isn't just sending you signs, it's actively rearranging reality around you to show you that you're breaking free. Pay attention to how animals, especially birds, respond to you. When your mind starts operating outside the loop, you naturally give off a different energy that wildlife can sense. If you've noticed more eye contact with birds or your pets acting differently around you, this is proof that your energy is shifting. Your relationship with technology is probably changing too. Electronics might act strangely around you, or they might work perfectly. Your phone might ring right when you're thinking about someone, or your computer might crash when you try to engage with content that doesn't match your new energy. Technology is sensitive to your consciousness, and these are all signs that your expanding awareness is affecting the world around you. The most important sign is how time feels. Linear time is a trick created by the loop. When you break free, you begin to experience eternal now moments. Minutes can feel like hours when you're fully present, yet entire days might pass without you noticing because you're living in a different rhythm. Your sleep patterns are definitely shifting. You might need less sleep, or your dreams have become incredibly vivid and meaningful. This happens because your awareness is no longer limited to the small reality your loop was picking. You're getting information from other possibilities and higher perspectives. People are probably responding to you differently without you consciously changing anything. Some might feel weird around you because your presence is causing their own loops to get unstable. Others might be drawn to you like a magnet because they feel the freedom you're starting to embody. But here's the urgent part. The waiting is over. The moment to break free is now. This isn't about fear. It's simple physics. Consciousness evolves in waves, and we're at the peak of a massive wave that won't come again for generations. Your deepest self has been orchestrating everything to bring you to this exact moment, because the change that's possible right now will be impossible next year. The world is reaching a turning point where people are either waking up fast or falling deeper into unconscious patterns. There's no middle ground anymore. The world is demanding that everyone choose their next step. This is why you feel such urgency. This is why you can't ignore these insights, even when they challenge everything you thought you knew. Your soul knows that this moment, right now, is the exact point where breaking free becomes real. What you want wants you back. This isn't just a saying. This is how reality works. Every desire, every dream, every possibility that calls to your soul is a potential reality that is trying to become real for you, but it can't reach you while you're stuck in a loop because your attention is on the wrong frequency. The desires that feel most impossible are actually the ones that have the strongest potential in your reality. They feel impossible because they exist on a timeline that your current patterns can't reach. You are literally one shift away from a reality where those impossible things are your normal everyday life. But here's the key difference that changes everything: attraction and alignment. Attraction tries to pull things toward you, which actually makes the loop stronger because it makes you feel separate from what you want. True alignment happens when you realize that what you want isn't separate from you at all. It's just a different version of you experiencing itself. When you truly get this, the loose loses its grip because there's nothing left to want from a distance. That's why trying harder and forcing things actually pushes them away. Every time you focus on what you lack, you're choosing a reality of lack. To anchor the shift and align with your highest timeline, just write "My future is now" in the comments below. The universe responds to coherence, not effort. When your consciousness becomes unified, when your attention, your intention, and your energy are all on the same page, reality automatically reorganizes itself around that unity. You don't have to make anything happen because you become the space where it's already happening. Right now, as you feel this truth in your body, something big is happening. The distance between you and your best life is disappearing. Not because you're doing anything, but because you're finally stopping the doing that was keeping you separated from it. In the comments below, I want you to make a declaration that locks in this energetic shift. Write these exact words: "I am coherent with my highest timeline." Don't explain it. Don't add anything else. Just that simple declaration. This isn't for an algorithm. This is you sending a signal to the universe that you're ready to embody a completely different reality. When you write that with a true feeling of what it means, you're not just writing words. You're announcing that your loop is dissolving, and your consciousness is free to choose from possibilities that were invisible to you before. The abilities that are developing in you right now would have been called superhuman in the past, but they are actually just the natural expression of a mind that is no longer trapped. Your intuition is becoming so sharp that you know things before they happen, not because you're psychic, but because you're in sync with what's about to happen. You're developing a reality fluidity, the ability to move between different possibilities just by shifting the quality of your attention. This means traffic lights turn green for you, parking spots open up exactly where you need them, and conversations flow in perfect directions. Your creative abilities are exploding because your mind is no longer limited to recycling the same old ideas. You're downloading new insights directly from the universe, thoughts that have never been thought before. People are responding to you differently even though you haven't changed your behavior. This happens because you're no longer recreating the same relationship patterns. Your presence creates space for others to show up as their authentic selves. Your physical body is changing in ways that seem impossible. Long-term issues are resolving because your cells are finally getting new information instead of the same old stress signals. Your energy levels are stabilizing at a higher level because you're no longer wasting your life force trying to escape the same mental and emotional cycles. The observer effect is now working for you instead of against you. Every time you would see your reality, you're automatically choosing more beautiful experiences because your mind has learned to live from a place of unity rather than fear. Money and resources start flowing more easily, not because you've learned better techniques, but because you're no longer unconsciously choosing a reality of lack. Your consciousness naturally moves toward abundance when it's not trapped in patterns of limitation. Relationships become easy because you're attracting people who are also living outside the old rules. You're no longer compatible with individuals who are stuck in their own loops, so your social circle naturally evolves to include souls who are also growing into their highest potential. The most profound change is that you stop feeling like you're trying to get somewhere or become someone. You realize you're already there. You were just temporarily trapped in patterns that made it seem otherwise. This brings a peace that makes all the struggle worth it because it's based on direct knowing, not just belief. Coherence is the ultimate creative force in the universe, and it's the one thing that can't be faked. When your whole being, your thoughts, emotions, energy, and deepest self all vibrate at the same frequency, you become a creative force that the universe must respond to. This is the ultimate secret that breaks every loop for good. But here's what most people miss. True coherence doesn't mean forcing all parts of yourself to agree. True coherence happens when you stop scattering your attention across multiple possibilities at once. Right now, part of your attention is probably on who you used to be. Part is worried about the future, and only a small bit is actually here in this moment. This scattered attention is what keeps the loop going, because it keeps your consciousness diluted across different realities that don't match. The universe can only give you a clear experience when your mind is clear. When your awareness is scattered, you get mixed results. Some parts of your life get better, while others stay stuck. This isn't the universe testing you. It's because your mind isn't unified enough to stay on a consistently high-level timeline. Creating true coherence requires what mystics call timeline consolidation, the process of taking your attention back from all the other versions of yourself and focusing it on the one that represents your highest potential. This isn't just imagining things. This is literally shifting dimensions by no longer giving your energy to realities that don't serve your growth.
The change happens when you stop trying to become whole and instead recognize that you already are whole at your deepest level. Your essential self has never been broken. Only your attention has been trained to focus on broken experiences. When you remember how to let your awareness rest in its natural unified state, coherence isn't something you create, it's something you uncover. This is why all the effort and trying harder actually moves you further from it. Every time you struggle to change your reality, you're assuming you're separate from what you want, which automatically creates the very separation you're trying to overcome. Coherence comes from relaxing, not from effort. When you embody this, you stop having a personal reality and start being a focal point through which the universe experiences itself. Your life becomes an artistic expression of cosmic creativity instead of a personal journey with problems to overcome. This shift in who you are is what permanently dissolves the loops, because there's no longer a separate you that can get stuck. The highest timeline isn't just a better version of your current life. It's a completely different dimensional experience where the rules of limitation simply don't apply. When you embody coherence,
You don't improve your circumstances. You move beyond the entire framework where problems and solutions exist. This is happening to thousands of people across the planet right now. We're not just breaking our own loops, we're collectively moving beyond the limits that have trapped humanity for thousands of years. Your personal change is actually a crucial part of the planet's shift. You are not here by accident. Your soul chose to be here at this specific time because the Earth itself is breaking free from a collective loop that has kept humanity repeating the same patterns of conflict and scarcity for so long. Your individual transformation is a key component in this process. Every time one person breaks their loop, it creates a ripple effect that makes it easier for thousands of others to do the same. You're not just changing your life, you're anchoring a new possibility that future generations will access naturally. Your courage to question the world is literally changing the path of human evolution. This is why you felt such a sense of responsibility lately. Your soul knew it needed to be part of the first wave of people to transcend these loops and show what's possible when consciousness operates from a place of unity instead of limitation. You are not just seeking personal freedom, you are serving as a bridge between the old world and the new one. The coincidences that brought you to this message are part of a larger plan involving millions of souls all over the world. We are finding each other, sharing insights, and creating a network that speeds up everyone's breakthrough. Your recognition of these ideas doesn't just help you, it strengthens the entire network. But here's the most profound part. As you break free, you don't just change your own life, you create openings in the collective field through which unlimited possibilities can enter our shared experience. Your liberation becomes humanity's liberation because consciousness is fundamentally connected. This is why the resistance to these ideas can feel so intense. It's not just your ego, it's the entire limitation matrix recognizing that its time is ending. Every person who breaks their loop weakens the collective patterns that have kept humanity trapped in cycles of struggle. Share this message with anyone who gets it, not to convince them of anything, but to help them remember what they already know deep down. The more people who recognize their true nature, the faster we can all move beyond the patterns that have defined us for so long. Your transformation is part of something infinitely bigger than personal growth. You're participating in the birth of a new species, one that lives from a place of unity rather than fear. Are you ready to break free from the loop? Answer with yes in the comments below.
If everything I've shared feels true to you, if you can feel these words activating something ancient and familiar inside you, then I want you to make one simple commitment right now. In the comments below, write just one word: coherent. That's it, nothing else. This isn't just for an algorithm. This is you making a quantum declaration that you are ready to embody the coherence that dissolves all loops permanently. When you write that word with true intention, you are registering your consciousness with a frequency that operates beyond the limits of normal reality. Every person who does this creates a stronger energy field that supports everyone else who is ready to make this leap. We aren't just building a community, we're anchoring a new reality that makes this transformation accessible to more and more souls.
But here's what I need you to understand. Breaking the loop is just the beginning. Once your consciousness learns to operate from a place of unity, you gain access to abilities that most people consider impossible. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to develop quantum navigation, the ability to consciously move between different realities to create outcomes that seem like miracles from the old way of thinking. You'll discover why some people seem to have charmed lives, while others struggle constantly. It's not about luck or effort. It's about understanding how to interact with reality in a way that allows you to choose which timeline you experience from moment to moment. This isn't just theory. This is practical mastery that changes everything. But I can only share these advanced concepts with people who have already proven they are ready by breaking free from their loops first. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell because the next video has information that you won't find anywhere else. This isn't content you can Google or read in a book. This is direct wisdom about how consciousness works that is being downloaded to our planet right now for the first time in human history. More importantly, subscribe because you're not just following a channel, you're aligning with a wave of consciousness that is happening globally. Every subscriber becomes part of a network that speeds up everyone's transformation. The old reality is dissolving whether you participate or not. The question is whether you will be one of the pioneers who helps create the new world or someone who gets dragged into it later, after the really exciting part is over. Your future self is already living a life of infinite possibilities. The only question is how quickly your present self will catch up. Make the declaration. Join the frequency. Let's transcend the patterns that have kept humanity small for far too long. The universe has been waiting for you to remember who you really are. Today is the day that waiting ends.